Hey everyone, this is Ian Miller, and welcome back to Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. I'm welcoming back a very good friend of mine, Michael Uslan, who you might know, who is actually the Batman producer, but he's had a lot of things happen in the past year that I can't wait to talk to him about. So, Michael, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks, Ian. Nice to be here with you again.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first off, I want to congratulate you for being inducted in the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
Oh,
That's an incredible accomplishment.
thank you. It's very, very meaningful to a Jersey boy who grew up here. My whole heritage is here, and having now a chance at this late stage of my career to give back to my state, it's very, very rewarding.
Absolutely, it absolutely is. You definitely come a long way, and you deserve every single moment of it. Of your success.
Much appreciated. It was kind of fun. It was Danny DeVito was the master of ceremonies, and
No.
yeah, and Mark Hamill inducted me, and
Oh,
it was a very special night. The governor elect, our senator Cory Booker was there, and it was quite an evening.
that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Um, okay, so obviously you're going to be at San Diego Comic Con next week. Sorry,
Yes,
not
sir.
next year. uh, and you're going to be on a couple of panels. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, yeah. I literally have to look at my book now to give you the right information. I hate to have somebody show up at the wrong place at the wrong time, but I'm going to be doing some fun panels. Um, Not Batman related, just stuff for some friends that whom I very, very much appreciate. I am doing, let's see, what am I doing? Um, I am doing a panel on Thursday, July 23rd at 2 p.m. over at the Omni Center with my pal Jim Kruger. Do you know Jim's work in comics? He wrote all those
Absolutely.
great Marvel stuff with Alex Ross.
Yeah.
Has revived the Human Fly, the old Marvel comic book, and they are relaunching it. And Jamie Jameson, who spent years inking and working with Jim Starlin, they put together quite something special. So I'm going to do that with them on Thursday, and then on do 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 do. Um, on Saturday, the 25th at 3:30 p.m., I'm doing a panel on Jack Kirby, dealing with Jack's greatest villains, working with um, Tracy Kirby and the family, and going to be some really, really great people on the panel. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And then on Sunday, July 26th at 11:15 a.m., I'm going to be on the Steve Ditko panel with Mark Ditko, Frank Miller, Bob Burden, and we are going to be um, paying homage to Steve. So it's kind of cool, somebody like me who's been long associated with DC, having an opportunity to talk about how influential and how important Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko have been to me.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And Ian, you know me well enough. I posted on Instagram and Facebook that if anyone comes either before or after these panels and brings something for me to sign, I will be happy to sign. And of course, I never charge my fellow fans for any kind of signature or photo.
Yeah, I was very appreciate that when got your signature at New York Comic Con this past year on the Batman Revolution book signing. So I was very
Awesome.
appreciative of that.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, but this is exciting, because these two people, really did reshape comics at that point in their careers. I mean, Jack Kirby, for God's sakes, had really shaped the Marvel image of the 1960s.
Totally. And yeah, I'll tell you one quick thing that Jack Kirby did for me personally. I was in seventh grade. I had discovered girls, and my interest in comics began to lag. And I felt like I was outgrowing my comic books and my superheroes. And then that summer, X-Men #1 came out. And I must have read it 100 times in the first week. And I realized, wow, my comic books are growing up with me. I will never have to give them up. We are going to
Exactly.
grow up together. And that's exactly what's happened. Really, exactly what's happened. So I owe Jack Kirby a big one for that. And I'm going to be telling some other stories. I met Jack for the first time when I was 11.
Ooh,
And regarding Steve Ditko, I believe I am the first writer of the question after Steve left. Um, I worked with Alex Toth on that, and we did this fabulous, fabulous. I learned more from graphic storytelling from Alex Toth than I think I have from anyone else. But it was great. DC reprinted that in its DC archives
yeah.
some time ago. But it's another chance to say thank you to Steve and his memory and everything he gave. I still, I've donated some 45,000 comic books to Indiana University's Lilly Library,
Yeah.
but I have kept all of my entire Ditko run of both Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. And let's see, what else did I keep from Jack? I kept my first 5 issues of Fantastic Four.
Ooh,
Then I kept the Glory Days, This Man, This Monster, Galactus, Silver Surfer, and Humans. That might have been the greatest stretch of creativity in the history of comics. Um, I could argue that point very, very easily. I've kept some of my Captain America stuff. I when he went to DC, I absolutely fell in love with the New Gods
yeah.
and his fourth world concept. So yeah, these have been important people throughout my life. It's really, really an honor for me to be doing this.
Yeah. It should be, and it's great. What's also great about this my generation is they're experiencing these great men, and their creativity on these characters for the very first time. Sometimes
Oh
they're
yeah,
experiencing it, and I love it because I got to experience it through, you know, uh, from comics that my godfather gave me. So I was reading Jack Kirby, I was reading Steve Ditko, and some of them I still have. I have some signed copies of these things. So it's fantastic that my generation's getting to experience this.
well, the first time I met Jack Kirby, I was 11, and he signed for me my oldest comic book at that time, All Winners #18.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I met him and Stan the same day, thanks to Flo Steinberg, Stan's assistant. My mom took me and my friend Bobby up to Marvel Comics, and we had a chance to see the place and meet those guys. It was a life-changing experience.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always thought you would be a good fit for writing for Marvel for at least one story, but
I had proposed two things for Marvel over the years, and we could never quite get it going. One was a miniseries on the Cosmic Cube,
oh,
and I still have the outline for it. One of these days, I'm either going to post it or I'll publish it in volume 3 of my memoir. The other one was a creation of a new Marvel universe on the basis that in the late 30s through the mid 50s, there was a first generation Marvel superheroes the way there was at DC. And it was a creation of like a 1940s Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Avengers, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, Ant-Man. Um,
wow.
and I thought that would have been great and really opened the door. In a sense, they've done a little bit of it with Spider Noir.
Yes, they did.
Um,
Yeah.
but I think I was about 25 years ahead of my time.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, but considering that they did Spider Noir, that maybe they might go further into that realm.
Could be. Let them know I'm here. I'm available.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. Yeah, because I can imagine it will be successful as like the Justice Society, of America, because that's a successful title in its own.
Sure. It was a brave new world to open the door to. But,
Yeah,
you do your best and you move on.
exactly. Exactly. Okay, so I do have to talk about the Boy Who Loved Batman stage play because I've been following that for quite a while. How you guys got great reviews for that, and this was open in Florida in 2024. So
Yeah.
I do have to ask, what's happening with that now?
And everything we do, it's a process.
Yeah,
You know well that Batman took me 10 years to get
yes,
made. Constantine took 10 years to get made. National Treasure took 10 years to get made. So I'm used to the siege that my industry puts me through each time. And we are in the process of getting this out. We've got a targeted opening on Broadway for September of 27.
ooh,
And we are working to make sure it's the best possible product we have with the best people. So it's very exciting for me. And, uh, and I'm used to digging a foxhole, hunkering down for the siege, putting a helmet on, and getting across the finish line.
I like your attitude because that's a very smart attitude, and obviously, being through this process so many times, you're like, okay, this is nothing new to me. This is nothing new to me.
No,
So
it's the
yeah,
way it goes.
it's true. It's very much true.
I have another movie project that we're in negotiations with one of the studios. Uh, by the time we're able to announce it, it will hit the 10-year mark.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it's just the same. I tell everybody now, Ian, come on, I have run out of 10 years. We got to find a way to do everything in 2 or 3 years at this point.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because yeah, as we know, time is not really on our side, and we want to get as much done as we can with the time
Yeah,
that we have.
yeah.
Yeah, just throwing it out there. But if you need any help with any designs for the Broadway show, please think of me at that because I could probably add my 2 cents to
Yeah, yeah. The union guys would kill me.
that. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so yeah, so again, you got a lot on your plate right now.
Yeah, as usual. When you're an independent producer, and I purposefully never aligned myself with a studio or a network, um, you got to have a lot going because you never
Yeah,
know after year by year trickles by. You never know what's going to stick and what's going to die on the vine at the last minute. So you've got to have at least 10 things going at once.
yeah,
In my heyday, I probably had as many as 20. And right now, I'm doing a lot of writing, and I have a 4 book deal with one major publisher, negotiating a 2 book deal with another one. I've got my first graphic novel in a while. I finished writing. It's now the artwork is being done. We'll be announcing that in probably New York Comic Con. We'll be able to announce that one, and I'm very excited about it. And we expect to take it to the media very quickly because we already have a showrunner director attached, and everybody's very excited about it. But you'll hear about that probably sometime in October.
I'm most likely probably gonna be covering it when I get to New York Comic Con. So this is fantastic. Congratulations.
Well, save your applause till the end.
Yeah, yeah, I know. As we just said earlier, sometimes these things don't really pan out with as we hope. But yeah, I hope it does. I really hope it does.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, is it's been interesting. The past year, especially with the different projects that have been coming out from either DC or Marvel and all that. But the one thing that's really stuck out in my mind for about a couple of years now was the Batman novels that John Jackson Miller had written, and you obviously have read them. I want to know what your thoughts were about those.
I love them. I think he did a terrific job. He gave it a lot of thought, and he
Yeah,
did his homework. and he talked to the right people. And I think what he has presented works for me on many levels.
Yeah,
And it's kind of interesting how much he devoted to Clayface before he even knew that Clayface was going to wind up in a movie of his own.
yeah, that was a big shock to me. I was like, okay, it's definitely this is great timing, but I knew they didn't plan it, like that. I was like, okay, this is just coincidence.
Yeah, there are coincidences in the world, not many, but there are.
Yeah, yeah,
And he's a good guy, and I was very happy that he was the writer on it. And he and I, as you know, have done signings together. Uh, so any way I can support creative people with what they're
yeah,
doing, especially if it applies to Batman
yeah,
or any comic book characters, I like to be there for them.
absolutely. And it was fantastic. Again, it was great meeting you, obviously in person for the first time. But that actually wasn't the first time I actually saw you in person.
Uh-oh.
The first, yeah, nothing bad, nothing bad. The first time I actually saw you was actually at New York Comic Con, and you know, you were just giving a talk about your career and experience about being a producer, and I caught the end of it. I was like, wow, this guy has gone through so much in quite a short lifespan, and he accomplished a lot, and he's still going. So that gave me inspiration. It's like, okay, no matter what happens, I'm going to keep trying because eventually I'll get to the goal. So I had to thank you for that.
Hey, isn't that what all of our superheroes teach us?
Yes,
It's
yes, it
all I've
is.
known since I was a kid. It's all I've known
Exactly.
since I was a kid. And and it's important. But I'm still having fun. I guess it's now 2 weeks ago, maybe. I spoke at Lincoln Center here in
Yeah.
New York, and we presented a 70 millimeter original print of Batman 1989, and it was fabulous. The sound system was utterly amazing, and it was jam packed, and the people never saw that movie on a big screen before, and to experience a 70 millimeter film print was quite a wonderful, immersive event for everybody. We had a ball.
I can see why I wanted to go, but unfortunately I was working at the time, so I was like, oh man. So if you got anything planned for the 40th, I'll keep my schedule open.
Yeah, one of the things that I love, I have friends who do Batman in concert, and they've been going literally around the world doing either the Batman Part One, Batman '89. Um, they did what else did they do? They did Batman Returns, and they do it with a live symphony orchestra playing the music to it. And it is a unique experience. It is like seeing the film for the first time. And I love what they're doing, and they're going to be expanding what they're doing. And I'm very excited about that. Last year at Comic Con, they took over the San Diego Padres baseball stadium and set up a giant screen in there and
Wow.
seats on the infield, and as well as in the stadium in the stands. And the place was packed, and everybody just had the best time. And it's just like no other experience that you have with these films. And I think it's a good thing because the industry has to look at ways to get people to come back into theaters.
Yeah.
One of the big things I tell everybody: look up if there is a Cosm theater anywhere near you. COSM. This past week, Sony announced it was putting $100 million into the Cosm theaters and technology, and it's 180-degree immersive technology. The last movie I saw, which was in LA at the Cosm Theater, was The Matrix. And you really are pulled into it. You feel you're a part of the film. They also do sporting events, and it's the future of spectator sports. My
Yeah.
son and I went to live the Knicks championship playoff game, and it was like you were in that stadium live in the midst of all the action. It's an incredible thing. We've also been to the Sphere in Las Vegas to see the Wizard of Oz on the Sphere.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you talk about an immersive experience when the tornado hits and
Yeah.
the wind is blowing inside the theater and debris is flying and the seats are shaking and it sounds like a freight train is coming through. It's an amazing thing. There's going to be lots of new ways to not only passively view movies, but to experience movies.
Yeah.
And to me, the future is very, very bright, and it's going to be very, very different.
I would say so. But yeah, I do agree. We need new creative ways, to bring audiences back into the theaters because that's really the heart of the industry. Because I feel like we've just gone, away from that. Because I still go to the movie theaters, and I see, less and less people in the seats. And
Hmm.
it's sad. It saddens me because, again, I used to love going to movies with a big crowd to hear if they're enjoying what I'm enjoying.
It's that was with the defining experience of movie theaters, which is different than watching them at home. It's just completely different. Case in point, my favorite comedy growing up as a kid was "It's a Mad, 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 Mad World."
Oh,
One of the
that's a classic.
greatest movies made.
Yeah.
And a movie theater, not a multiplex, a movie theater, old fashioned movie theater in Beverly Hills, announced they were going to show it on the big screen in a 70 millimeter print, 600 seat theater, and it was SRO.
Oh,
And we took my granddaughter, who was probably 8 or 9 at the time, and she had never experienced 600 people laughing together at the same things, clapping, cringing, yelling. It was a communal, emotional experience of what movie theaters were in its essence all about that she in 9 years had never experienced. And it
wow.
was like an awakening going, oh my God, this is so different than seeing it on our big TV at home with two other, three other, four other people. So that's very meaningful, and I
Yeah.
hope that some of these new technologies allow them to recapture an audience and to bring in a new audience once they understand what they can get out of it. And it translates just like Comic Cons. It translates into a bizarre but wonderful sense of community. So I'm hoping we'll see more and more of that.
Yeah. I'm hoping to see Batman on that immersive screen you were just talking about because, again, that would be just an epic thing right there. That would be a great event.
Absolutely. And I mean, I can't wait right now. I'm going to a screening tomorrow of The Odyssey. Um,
Ooh.
and, when Chris Nolan is using IMAX cameras, my God,
Yeah.
it's quite an amazing spectacle. And I'm really looking forward to that very, very much.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that he shot the whole film with just the IMAX cameras, which I know he's been talking about doing it for years, but he actually went and did it. I was like, damn, it's impressive. So we're gonna get the best picture quality, the best sound quality as well, and possibly the great special and practical effects in this movie. So I'm very excited for it. I obviously won't be there tomorrow, but I'm gonna be actually at Paris Theater seeing Sweet Smell of Success
Oh, wow. Powerful
with Eddie
film.
Muller. Yeah,
Powerful film.
yeah,
Especially in today's political climate. It's important that everybody see that.
yeah.
That, Elmer Gantry, there's a few movies in that vein that are extremely important. Um, yeah. Um, So yeah, I've seen some good movies this summer. We loved Project Hail Mary.
That was a
Uh,
good one. Yeah.
Pressure. I was absolutely completely won over
Yeah.
uh, by Brendan Fraser's performance as Dwight Eisenhower in that. It was great. It's now on streaming. Um, but so we've been catching some really really good films along the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. I'm excited for you to see that tomorrow, and obviously more excited for the stuff that's coming out for you personally. But
Much
yeah,
appreciated, Ian. And if I can get in the plug, because Stanley always told me work in the plug is wherever you can, Michael, for God's sake. My 2-volume memoirs are available through Amazon, Barnes and Noble. The Boy Who Loved Batman, which is the one being turned into the Broadway play, and
yeah,
Batman's Batman. I recorded both as Audible books, which was a lot of fun to do. And if your followers want to follow me, they can find me on both Instagram and Facebook.
yeah,
And I do a lot of postings regularly that I think are entertaining and fun and informative about Batman, about the comic book industry, the movie industry, and just general fun and interesting stuff, whatever I can uh, throw out there. So would love to see to connect with people on
yeah,
those two sites.
absolutely. And you'll definitely want to read his memoirs, my friends, because first of all, it's great writing, and also it's extraordinary life. So you definitely want to read it because it's just, you can't help but just be entertained by this man. You can't. You just can't.
And there's some good stuff coming up, Ian. But before I go, I'll mention we've got Nightfall Part One of Three
Yes.
animated films coming up soon. Clayface opens in October. R-rated horror film um, with Batman connections. Um, the Batman Part Two is actually shooting as
Yeah.
we speak. You may have heard the opening has been pushed back to February
Yeah.
of 2028. Um, but as I just posted today, for all the Batman fans that were uncertain about the opening being pushed back, all I did was post a video of Carly Simon singing "Anticipation." Um, so a lot of really really good things in development that you'll be hearing about from Warner Brothers pretty soon.
Yeah.
Life is good. Life is good.
I hope life continues to be good for you, my friend. I really
Thank you,
do.
Ian. Thank you so very very much, and I hope you have a great rest of your summer. And
Dude,
maybe by towards the end of the year, the holidays, the last quarter, there'll be a bunch of new interesting stuff to talk about.
absolutely. Can't wait to have you back on then.
Thanks, Ian.
All right. Thanks, Michael.
Take care, pal.
Of course, you too. Well, folks, that's it for us today. I'm Ian Miller, and this has been True With Her Comics YouTube channel. Have yourselves a great night. Also, be sure to actually follow us on our social media accounts, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you'd like to follow us on YouTube, just hit that like button and subscribe.